Okay, good evening, everyone. I tried to figure out how to do a live feed on Facebook, but I couldn't figure it out. I'll have to ask somebody later how to do that. Um, I'm not a phone person by any stretch of the imagination. I am a computer nerd, geek, or whatever you want to call me. I'm making this video tonight because I was on a very important call um, from some people in Washington, D.C. And I wanted the adults in the United States of America to get some of this information because it's important. We don't know what's going to happen with this current administration. So it's very important for those of you who have been thinking about changing your name legally in this country or your gender to do so as soon as possible, because like I said, they don't know exactly what's going to happen, what politicians are going to be able to do or not do. Everybody knows that Mike Pence, the president-elect's vice president, is gunning for the LGBTQIA community to try to undo everything that Obama has done. So you need to step on it to get those documents, get all the processes started with changing your state IDs, your driver's license, and whatnot. I wanted to let you know that in most states in the United States, it requires sex assignment resurgery to get your gender marker changed for your birth certificate. But there's another way where you can change your gender on most of your IDs, except for your birth certificate, unless it's in a state that allows you to do that without SRS. You would start with your passport. Start with getting your passport with your legal name, which means you have to go to court to change your name. And then from that document, you would take that document, a specifically written letter from your endocrinology doctor that states that you are committed to living the life of the gender that you feel inside. I'm gonna put a link in the comment sections of this video to the website where you can get most of the documents that you're gonna need to change your ID and your passport and your driver's license. Again, I'm going to put that in the comment section. Some of the links on that website don't work, but there is a phone number and an email address that you can call or write to let them know that, a link to the documents in your state is broken. I happen to know for a fact that the one for Georgia is broken. It doesn't work. It doesn't lead you to the right place. They also discussed whether or not you needed a lawyer to change your name, and you really don't. I did it myself. I just got the forms, printed them, filled them out, took them to court, and got the whole thing rolling. That was back in February of this year. You really don't need to pay an attorney unless you can find one that'll do it for free, because it really is free. You can also fill out an indigent form, otherwise known as a poverty form, or a waiver form in your state, depending on what they're looking for, that will get the government to pay for your name change if you meet the qualifications. If you can fill out that paperwork right, the judge will usually sign it, and they will waive the fee of having your name changed. Here in Georgia, I think it's around $300 if you're doing it yourself. If you don't have the judge sign that indigent form. What else do I want to say? Oh, people on the call were concerned about marriages, the same-sex marriage laws that were enacted. And from what we were told, if you're already married, it's probably not going to be undone for y'all. But we don't know what's going to happen to those of us who aren't by the time this administration takes over. We'll just have to wait and see. But for those who are already married, there is a website, a lesbian website that I think is called nclrights.org. I'm going to check that website to see if that is the correct name of that website that can give you any updates or information about same-sex marriages and or probably transgender marriages. I don't exactly know how that works. Oh, something else. If you get a jerk of a judge who tries to deny your name change, the National Center for Transgender Equality does have attorneys who can help fight that judge's decision not to let you change your name. So again, you'll check out the link in the comments and you'll be able to find a ton of information on that website about your rights, about how to apply for a passport. You will need a copy of your birth certificate. Well, you did in Georgia. I'm not sure in other states. But, because of my physician's letter and my court documents for the name change, they did not pay much attention to they didn't pay any attention to the birth certificate, which has my birth name, my birth gender, but the doctor's letter, which does need to include the license number of that doctor, has to be a doctor, the license number of that doctor, the address where that doctor practices out of, and the phone number needs to be on that physician's statement. I haven't looked at the information on the NCTE website of that for that letter. I actually, well, maybe I found it on NCTE. I'm not sure. I might have also found it on a LGBT site that used to exist in Georgia where you can get all sorts of forms, but for whatever reason that website went away. So people are going to have to find out another way to find the forms for Georgia. A note: if you are FTM, female to male, and you change your gender to male, your auto insurance company may increase your rates. They did mine. I was very annoyed by that. It's just a computer thing. But then again, I ran across a guy who had the same insurance I did, and when he changed his name and gender, his insurance rate did not go up. I'm not sure why mine did. I'm 59 years old, 58 years old. I'm not a young person that whose insurance rates are through the roof to begin with. So I don't exactly know why that happened, but it is a possibility. I don't know if male to females auto insurance rates go down, but I know mine went up slightly. What else do I want to tell you? Name changes are governed by the state you live in, and those laws will probably never change. You'll probably always be able to get your name changed. Again, there's very specific instructions on that website that I'm going to put in the link about how to change your name. And you don't need to say it's because you're transgender. People change their name. Married people change their names all the time, and they don't make a big deal out of it. So don't you make a big deal out of why you're changing your name. just, you know, say it's the name I go by every day, and it doesn't really need to be any more detailed than that. They don't deal with your gender in court unless you're going to your court in your county specifically to change your gender. I did not do that. I used the passport method, and then I used my passport to change my driver's license gender after I changed my name. After I got my passport, I took it down to the DMV, the DDS here, and showed them my passport, and they changed my driver's license gender after I changed my name. Anyway, what else can I say about this? The Social Security office, when you change your name, because your gender does not show up on your card, they'll try to tell you you don't need to do anything else, but that's not true. In their database, behind the scenes of your Social Security card, your gender is there. So you need to personally go down to the SSA office, Social Security Administration office, with your documents, your legal documents, your ID, your passport or whatnot, and have them change your gender in their database. Don't let them tell you that it doesn't exist, because it does. That's what they told me when I got my name change paperwork and took it down to Social Security, that you don't have to change, you know, your gender doesn't show up on your Social Security card, but it's there. It's there in their system. So you do need to change your gender if that's what you're going to do. For non-binary people, I don't know what to say to y'all. It's a very different issue not to have any gender at all. There's only 2 states in the United States that honor not having a gender at all. I think one of them is California, and I don't remember the other one. But again, I don't know what to say about that as far as changing your gender. Right now in the United States, it's a binary country. You're male or female, not neither. So you could also call the NCTE and, you know, ask them what they think. But as far as I know, there's really no way to not have a gender on your ID documents. For the veterans out there, there is also a link on the NCTE website to start the process of getting your DD214 changed. There was some sort of board decision made earlier part of this year that something about being able to change your gender and your name on your DD214. My gender isn't on there, just my birth name is on there. So I've begun the process of having my DD214 changed as well. Not everything that the website says is can you actually find. I can't even find the decision that was made the earlier part of this year that allows us to have that historical document changed. But I'm going to find it. I've sent a link out to an email out to them to ask them where this board decision is, because they ask you to have it attached to your application to change your military records. So I'm all done with that except for that board decision, which needs to be printed out and attached to the rest of the documents that I'm going to be sending to the military authorities to have my name changed in the records. Is there anything else I want to say? Don't panic. Just err on the side of caution when it comes to making the decision to change your name and your gender marker. It isn't an absolute necessity if you don't think it is. But if you do, get on it. Because we don't know when things are going to change, and we don't know if things are going to change. Anything else that I wanted to say about this? I'm looking at some notes over here off to the side. There's also a website called CompusePride.org, and I'm gonna look at that before I upload this video to see what's in that, what that website is about, and I will add that to the comments of this video as well. I think that's all. Oh, they did bring up insurance company issues, but I was pretty unclear about that because I am a veteran and I get all of my care through the VA. And if you're a civilian, I'm not sure exactly what it is that you need to do to get your care properly in the United States. For those of us who have not had surgeries, I mean, we still need some trace of our previous gender in order to get the right care out there in the United States. If you've got a female body, there's things you got to do. You don't want to be unconscious with IDs saying that you're one sex when your body is another. They need to treat the body that you're in, not the gender that you changed on your IDs. So you'll have to talk with your insurance companies in order to get that straight. That much was discussed in the call, that you need to contact, you need to work things out with your insurance companies and do battle with them to get the proper care. And that's really all I have for now. I'm going to end up putting this video on Facebook. I am not going to make it public. The reason why, I don't want any haters out there who have political clout or money or connections to grab a hold of what I'm saying and try to beat us to having these documents changed before the Trump administration fucks it all up, which is what they intend to do. I don't care what you're thinking. I don't care of anybody out there who thinks that Trump is for the LGBTQIA. He is not. And none of his administration and the people that he's hiring are for us either. Not the well, I'm not going to bring up black organizations, but most of the right-wing religious organizations in this country are not for us. So don't even try to pretend that they are, or don't, fantasize that they are, because in reality, they are not. Do your research, get on the internet and start looking it up yourself. I found lots of videos out there of how those organizations feel about us. So don't fool yourself. I'm not fooled. And I hope y'all have a blessed weekend. And Ray will be talking to you later. The Pollinator out.